I realized when I was young, I got a development deal for Disney when I was, I think I was 25, 26. Mm-hmm. And I got this development deal, and all of a sudden they gave me like, I think it was like $100. Mm-hmm. And I remember thinking immediately, oh, this is the key.
Saving money. That's what we're here to discuss today. It's a simple framework for creating a better life for yourself. But first, we have to understand its importance. Why is saving money a superpower? Spending money is a skill, and it's easier than ever to spend it all. How? We don't live in the same world that our parents or grandparents did. In the 1980s, you didn't have to go to college to find a high-paying job, meaning there was only roughly $2.7 billion in total student loan debt. The average home price was 2.5 times the average salary. The average car price was about 30% of the average salary. In today's economy, it's more difficult than ever to find a high-paying job without a college degree, leading to $1.7 trillion in total student loan debt. The average home price is 4 times the average salary, and the average car price is about 40% of the average salary. And these stats are extremely detrimental to our lives unless we revert back or create a sustainable solution. And since the economy has shown us no signs of reverting back, the only answer is to find a solution for ourselves. So that's why I wanted to review the interview Joe Rogan did with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Using some clips from the interview, I'm going to explain the simple way money can unlock freedom in your life, exactly how much money it takes to be happy, and how saving money will give you superpowers in every area of your life. Let's dive in. How do you attain freedom in your life? Well, every person gives freedom a different definition. It could mean getting that promotion. It could mean being a millionaire. It could mean starting a business. It could mean spending time with family. It could mean laying on the beach all day. No matter what it is, the way we think about freedom is by saying, once I achieve my goal, I will have freedom. In other words, it's something that is just out of reach, but you're working towards. But this is the wrong way to look at freedom, because if it was true that once you accomplish your goal that you would have freedom, then Michael Jordan would only have 1 ring, Tom Brady would only have 1 Super Bowl, and no one would be a billionaire. The truth is, once you reach that goal, you may feel a sense of freedom for a few hours, days, or even months, but you'll quickly set a new goal and start chasing that with the same thought that if I achieve this new goal, then I'll be free. So that's not how you achieve freedom. The only way to achieve freedom is by truly enjoying the everyday pursuit of your goal.
Yeah, enjoying the ride, enjoying the fucking journey. I mean, that's another thing. You know, it's about the journey. Ooh. People have fucked up that expression, but it's real. It is really about the journey.
Yeah.
It's just hard when you're when you're not where you want to be in life, and if you're listening to this and you're just not satisfied with your position in life. It's hard to think that way. All you want is that thing, but you gotta somewhere along the line figure out how to enjoy yourself. That changes the whole tone of the experience, and I think that makes you more successful.
It's the grind that we love and sink our teeth into and just fucking go and get after it. But I wasn't having fun.
Yeah.
But man, that time when it switched in my mind, like, oh, wait, like exactly what you're saying. Let me enjoy this now, because I've worked hard to get here, wherever this thing is, just like everybody else. But this idea, like, let's have fun while we're doing it along the way. And you're right, it has that butterfly effect. It affects other people and it attracts other people. Before you know it, everybody's vibrating at this great place with enthusiasm, and excitement and fun.
The Rock and Joe Rogan are not your typical rah-rah enjoy your life people. They're very practical and understand what it's like to struggle. In fact, they have both been very, very poor and lost in their life and have admitted that at the beginning of the journey, it sucks. And I'll tell you how to make it not suck in a minute, but they make a wonderful point. We all have goals and all want to be successful at whatever we're doing, but the true way to be happy and have freedom is to enjoy the journey. So what's the one thing you must have to enjoy your journey and experience freedom? Money. But how much money exactly? There's a point in your life, especially at the beginning, when you hate where you are, and it's very hard to enjoy the journey. We've all heard that money doesn't make you happy. That's bullshit. If you have a mountain of student loan debt and can barely afford your car or house or can barely afford to eat, you understand what I'm saying. It's not fun to be worried about money all the time, but unfortunately, that's the situation we've all been forced into at one point or another. But when you're trying to get some money saved, you're solely focused on that, and you have your blinders on. You don't have time to worry about whether you like your job or whether you're spending enough time with family or whether you're putting enough focus on your health. You're only worried about paying your bills. And they both talk about at one point the switch flipped for them and the journey stopped being miserable and started being fun.
I realized when I was young, I got a development deal for Disney when I was, I think I was 25, 26. And I got this development deal, and all of a sudden they gave me like, I think it was like $100,000. And I had money in the bank. It was a development deal for a television show, and all of a sudden I had money. Like my whole life I was poor. And my whole life I was like wondering how I was going to, when I was on my own, and it was like, how am I paying the bills? How am I eating? But then the moment I got that check, I remember feeling light.
Yeah.
Like weight had been lifted off me. Like now I didn't have to worry about my rent. Now I didn't have to worry about food. And I remember thinking immediately, oh, this is the key. You just got to not get to a place where you're not worried about your bills. If that means like spend less money, if that means like live a more prudent lifestyle, whatever you have to do. But get to that place where you're not worried about bills, because that shit hanging over your head causes stress that fucking ruins lives. It ruins people.
Yeah.
And then when I got to a place where I felt like I have enough money that I feel really secure, then I started to learn how to be happy. But in the beginning, it was just drive. It was just all go.
Yeah.
And it was just very selfish thinking. You know, I'm just thinking only on what I'm trying to do.
And it's the same thing that happened to me. I made up my mind, like, I'm broke today, but one day I'm never going to be broke. And I will never fucking go back to being broke. At least I'm going to do all I can not to be broke. So when you have that mentality, you have the blinders on.
The only way to escape this trap is to take matters into your own hands, and I'll tell you exactly how to do that in a minute. But for Joe and myself, the exact number where I felt a sense of relief is when we had $100,000 liquid in the bank. Once you get to that point, you feel a sense of peace. Now, that's not enough money to quit your job and spend the rest of your life laying on the beach, but once you give yourself some breathing room, you can take those blinders off and focus on the things that matter. When you do this, you'll be able to flip the switch from being miserable to being happy in the pursuit of your goals, creating freedom in your life. But in order to put your first $100,000 in the bank and unlock the superpowers that come along with saving money, you have to understand this next thing. When I was in middle school, I remember feeling like an absolute loser. I was made fun of, had very few friends, and very little confidence. It wasn't until I started really getting better at basketball that I started to feel better about myself. I wasn't naturally gifted at it, and it was something I had to go all in on to get better at. But the challenges that I overcame through the pursuit of basketball allowed me to change who I was. And Joe and The Rock experienced something very similar.
There's things in life that I think every kid should do something difficult. Whether it's playing chess or whether it's soccer or whether it's wrestling, something that really fucking tests you, because you learn that you can get better at stuff, and you learn that you can overcome all those feelings of weakness that are inside of you.
Yeah. And it acts as like a forcing mechanism for discipline.
Yeah.
And to work through that shit. And also I feel like it's like with you in martial arts and then transitioning over to comedy, I feel like it also, for me, it forces also our kids to find their thing.
And if you can find one thing, you can find many things.
Yeah, right.
It's like the Miyamoto Musashi quote. Once you know the way broadly, you can see it in all things. There's some real wisdom in those words, because there's something about finding a pursuit or a passion or something that you truly love that's engaging and challenging, that is exciting for you, and it advances you as a person. And the lessons that you learn in pursuing that thing, you apply to everything in your life.
Everything in life, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything in life.
You see, once I graduated high school and stopped playing basketball, I needed a new challenge, something that would allow me to build confidence and translate to my career, my relationships, and my health. And that thing was my personal finances. It's very hard to save and invest money. It takes discipline to not spend everything you have, regardless of how much money you make. It takes time to educate yourself on how much to save, and where to invest. But when you start building your net worth, you begin to overcome challenges and build confidence in yourself. It takes time and discipline, but once you do it, those habits translate to your career, your family, your health, and everything you do. Saving your first $100,000 is the challenge you need to take on and overcome to become a superhero in your own life. So in order to unlock freedom in your life, you have to start to enjoy the everyday pursuit of your goals. And the only way to do that is to save your first $100,000. And once you lay out this challenge for yourself and accomplish it, not only will you be happier, but it'll give you the confidence and success that will translate to your career, your family, and your health. There's something I left out though. What are the exact steps you need to take to save your first $100,000 if you're starting from zero? Unfortunately, there isn't enough time in this video to cover the practical step-by-step formula to do this. But Gabe Built recently made a video detailing exactly how he did it, and I reviewed his video to not only show you how he did it, but how I did it too. So check out this video next to learn the simple steps it takes to go from zero to $100,000 in 3 years or less.